Welcome to Ancient Wisdom, episode 51. We're on season 4. We might be looking good today. I don't know. We'll find out.
The first fun thing, Mitchow.
Looks like there's a rise in anti-Semitism.
Damn.
I wonder why.
Every time.
You guys watch women's MMA, right?
All the time.
I'm gonna watch more now. Whoa, maybe I won't.
And that's the end. What is the future of TV and radio? It's a tech that's not going away, let's face it. It's a energy that exists. It's a wavelength. It's a frequency. It's something that's around us that we could tune into. But it's kind of useless. Nobody watches anymore. You ever think about this?
Ooh.
You ever think about this? That TV and radio is here, and it's here to stay, but it's also dying. Do I smell rebranding?
I've never thought about this until you just mentioned it. But now I think that it's going to go back to very cheap, affordable time slots for stations, and we can go back to public access television.
Oh, there it is. That's what I was hoping you were going to say. How cool would it be if, like, instead of YouTube and all this crap, we repurpose television to have a lot more local studios? No NBC, no nationwide thing. Maybe if it gets big enough, but we get local again.
We have to find the company right now.
Dude, I'm telling you, within the next couple of years, don't steal our idea. Within the next couple of years, I think TV stations are going to be so cheap they're just selling it, or like however they do it, the frequency or whatever,
they'll
the channel.
sign $5 per hour if you want to rent the studio or something like that.
And then you have to start signing acts and fill up the time slot, and maybe like you own the frequency in all of your town.
Yeah, you have 100 viewers in town, you're the shit.
Yeah. You get to be big in town again. I hope that happens, because maybe that's a new church. Did we just invent that? That'd be really fucking awesome if we could get that off the ground somehow, because you're finally the hottest girl in town, the most famous person in town. People see you, they say hi, they want to say hi, as do you.
It's decentralizing the attention and ego of social media and Instagram.
You know, a quick thought just
and it's a way to return to like what we used to have. Sorry, Poe, just up.
No, you're good. What if you could like somehow, with the modern age, I feel like this is possible. What if you could somehow get on a radio station, say like in rural Japan, if you like bought that station like on the internet? I feel like that exists. Like, can you get on?
You mean me being here but being transmitted?
Right? Yeah. Because like through the internet, like you like go to like a Japanese website and like pay for the radio station or something.
I'm sure there's
like
a way
that.
to do that, right? Like it's still local, but
like
at the same time, we have technology using it for that.
To shoot you into the Japanese broadcasting system somehow.
Use new technology for the sake of old technology. I wish it worked the same way with my car. I can't even play CDs.
Unfortunately, the only thing is, though, that you can't convince the average person right now to listen to radio again or start watching local television.
Radio just sucks, and nobody listens to it. I can't imagine anybody but your grandma listens to radio. But like maybe it comes back. Maybe you're sick of that. You have to kind of listen. Well, you got Spotify in the car with all this something.
I was listening to it once the other day. It was conservative talk radio, and then they're like, "Next up, we have Speaker of the House Mike Johnson," and I immediately turned it off. I'm like, this guy isn't doing anything. Well, it's not. Yeah, it's not real.
And that's another thing too. Like the big media too. Oh, would Jesus vote left or right? It doesn't matter. He'd be none of you fuckers.
He'd be on local access television.
Yeah, seriously, entertaining you.
He'd be on everyone's show just to like boost the
little guy, the meek. Hell yeah. So I think that's really how it would start, man. Bring us together again in that small. I think it's going to get old, this internet stuff. So I had the idea. Now let me know what you guys think about this. I think another idea, don't steal my idea, is we need separate but equal internets.
Ooh, what do you mean?
Now hear me out.
Separated by what?
We have one internet, one God. We need polytheism internet. We need the Greek gods of internet. I want to look up one topic on one internet. Like a different browser could bring up a different internet, and that internet only has entertaining stuff.
Right, info is too centralized, like into Skynet.
One's just news. One internet is just news. It doesn't give you anything else, doesn't bother you. It's all, even the ads are all news related.
Yeah, like if you want to look up stuff about Greece, you would just...
A Greece internet!
Yeah, you would just get the internet about people who uploaded information about Greece.
Right.
And they don't have any other responsibilities.
Right.
Just Greece.
Which I suppose could be like a search engine, but it's really about how you package it and how you market it, though. It's like, I would like them as different apps. It also kind of limits yourself if you're a disciplined person, like, all right, I'm just going to watch my porn app today. Just kidding. I'm just, to stay away, I'm just going to do my science app today. I'm not going to touch anything else.
Yeah, it'd have to be bigger categories, I think, like philosophy internet, science internet.
Yeah. News, that'll definitely be one.
Right.
What other notes do I have here? Yeah, like one is just self-help or DIY. Maybe there's a gardening internet. And because, like, how many times you type something on YouTube and you get everything? It's too much. Or just a search engine in general. There's way too much crap out there. We need to limit it to these little categories. But that's going to be racist soon, too.
Yeah, it all needs to be decentralized, like you said about the public access television.
Yes. It's like, yo, think about it. Back in the day, ancient wisdom, we used to have communités. Now we have a worldwide communité. Globalism. And everyone's like, wow, that's great. But we miss the old days. And now time for ancient quotes with Evan.
Tomorrow is nothing. Today is too late. The good lived yesterday.
Tomorrow is nothing. I couldn't agree more. Tomorrow's just nothing.
Pretty simple, self-explanatory.
Yeah, right. That feels
Doesn't
right.
exist.
That feels very simple. I think the problem that people might have is that today is too late. You think to yourself, isn't that against living in the moment? Am I right? Don't they always say live in the moment?
If you're saying, what am I going to do today? You're already in the past, man.
Damn!
It's an ever-fleeting moment, the present. That's how I interpreted that quote from him. Because if you're calculating today, I'm going to do this, you've already spoken about it and it's gone. The chance to do it has left you.
But what about if it's noon?
You have to live in the moment. You have to live in the new.
He didn't say live in the moment. He said today is too late.
Well, I equate today with now.
Oh, that's not what he said, though. You may act wrong. You may not have a personality.
Oh, man.
But what's more perfect than what you did yesterday? You couldn't even change it if you wanted to. The good lived back then.
It's too late to think about the present.
And I said, now is the result of what has already been done. It's the result of what happened yesterday. Now it's just the result of the past. But now it's too late.
Dang.
That's what I take from this.
Food for thought.
Shall we dare to toil under the sun? I was moving 6 cubic yards of dirt yesterday. It's heavy. And I did it shovel by shovel with a wheelbarrow. And I felt that I gained something that I could not have gotten if I did it with a tractor and a trailer, just hauling it over. I moved dirt the ancient way. And I felt good about it. And my hands felt good about it. Like, my hands feel great today.
So what I'm hearing with all this is that, like, where are we really going? What are we really doing? What are we really toiling for? Is punching buttons at the office going to be the purpose of your life? Where do you get the most value? And this comes back to the progressivism for me. Like, progressing toward what? Am I right? Like, what are we doing when the most simple stuff brings us the most value? And I was realizing this week that finally I could define what I've been thinking, which is progressivism, improvement. These words, they're all just dangling participles. I said the word earlier. It's not finishing the sentence. Improvement. There is no improvement. There is no progressing. You could only progress. A thing can progress toward another thing. You're not finishing the sentence when you say progressing. You could say, I start here, I want to go here, and I'm progressing towards it. Yeah, you could do it because all the points are mapped.
Yeah, you're comparing it to something. You're comparing it to the past when every new moment is a new opportunity to be progress.
Yeah, right. You could say, like you're talking about, oh, the past and the future. I am progressing toward the future. What is the future? It's so nebulous. So I got to say, would you guys agree, as I do, that there is sort of this inverse or maybe even a scales of justice with quality and quantity? I think the more we try to go to these things and add so much, the quality always suffers the more you produce. Is that an intrinsic law of the universe? I think that's what we're doing. It seems to be the scale.
Look at farming, just modern farming.
Right.
The more, the worse it is.
Right. Like we have all these GMOs, we have all these things farming, but when you do it yourself, it's organic and people are willing to pay for it. Why? Because it doesn't have all the crap that it takes to push out all of this quantity.
You also kind of, get
no love.
You get the bodily benefits, just the physical benefits of going out and moving around and growing your own garden.
Yeah, especially if you're the one doing it. And people don't even do that anymore. They just buy it. They want to buy local, organic.
Yeah. But the old example, of course, is everything made in China, which is why nothing good is made at all nowadays. Because we got the
hook, line, and sinker, China.
Fixes.
And they're known for having the shitty products.
And maybe that was their plan, overload shitty products.
Yeah.
So that we don't get used to, so we become unused.
Yeah, it's perfect.
To good products.
We become reliant on it. We don't know what good products even are anymore. And they break just as easily, so we have to buy more. So if you can make it seem good and push out as many as possible, you could trick them into thinking it's quality with a fun commercial. Yeah. That's why marketing is kind of the death of us all, really, because marketing is everything now. It's media, the news, social, everything's marketing. They're trying to get you to think a certain way when you know what's best. Your heart knows what's best. Poach just said it. Like they'll try to get you away from the farm, but like that you felt good doing it yourself. But if they had their way, they'd stuff you in a box, in a cubicle.
Yeah, so like I feel like it's something that I always kind of like never really wanted to do, like as a teenager.
Yeah.
Farming.
Why do you think that is? Gardening. Do you think it's the influences of marketing and stuff?
Mostly because I've always, like when I was a teenager, I just didn't want to do stuff that my family was doing, and my dad was always like gardening and stuff.
Right.
But also, yes, it's always just like the experience of, I just want to get away. And if you're moving and traveling, you can't farm. You're moving and traveling.
Yeah, I got things to do, places to be.
You just can't do it.
I think I use the example of space because it is the ultimate one, and I think that's what, especially growing up in the 90s, everyone wants to be an astronaut. I want to go to space. It's like, there's plenty of stuff to do here, dumbass. Fucking slap the kid. It's like, what are you thinking about? There's so much stuff. There's so much enjoyment. There's so much purpose to have right here. But go to space. It's almost easy to say that. Oh, go to space. Sure. What are you going to do in space? Die? Be cold all the time?
I almost want to say it's evil of the adults to even ask the kids what they want to do when they grow up.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I only ever knew the answer to that question because someone asked me. I didn't ever think about it. Ever.
Wow. And maybe that's the way to do it, because you know what feels right. Like I hear this story, Poe just talking about working in the yard, and I says, this is what they try to like force you away from, the natural, the simple, without having to think about it. It almost seems like that's what natural is, not having to think about it. You do it of itself. Nobody wants to work in the yard because they're so busy. I'm like, what are you busy with? Death? What are you busy with? Dying?
I can jump in.
I don't got any time.
Thessalonians, Mitch, 2 Thessalonians.
Oh, man.
For even when we were with you, we gave you this rule. The one who is unwilling to work shall not eat. We hear that some among you are idle and disruptive.
Ooh.
They are not busy. They are not busy. They are busy bodies.
Oh, wow. Man.
I never heard that full quote.
Much to do about nothing. Wow. But we can move on to our final section, perhaps the most ancient section. That's why we save it for last. Mitch translates the Tao. What the fuck? Tao 33. He who has knowledge of man is wise. He who has knowledge of self is enlightened. He who conquers others has power. He who conquers himself has true strength. He who knows sufficiency has wealth. He who perseveres has the will. He who is not lost endures. He who dies but does not pass away has true life. Break it down. Let's break it down. Obviously starts off soft, starts off light for everybody here. Knowledge of man is wise, but knowledge of self is enlightened. You could be smart. I think if you have knowledge of men, knowledge of people, knowledge of worldly things, in other words, people will be like, hey, this guy's smart. Good job. Kudos. But if you have knowledge of self, as we discussed earlier, that man is enlightened. And sort of the character for this is brightness.
Everyone knows, can agree, like, yeah, that's the answer to enlightenment, get to know yourself. But it's the last thing we really want to do. It's like, I don't know.
Toughest.
Yeah, something drives me to not do that. It makes me want to go somewhere else.
Deep, yeah. Damn, I was thinking about that earlier, too, because it's like, I could understand why you wouldn't want to look within. But you kind of have to, and especially because there's so many distractions. It's tough to look within. You do have to go through this. People that look within, they're almost the unassuming ones. You're like, that guy's dope. I don't know why. But if you conquer others, naturally you have power. If you conquer yourself, you have true strength. Sort of a rewording. And he who knows sufficiency has wealth. He who perseveres has the will. Aren't those like, wouldn't you define those as sort of almost synonymous? Persevere, will. Yeah. I don't want to get that in your head, but like, is that what you guys make of that?
They do sound synonymous. It just means like he who doesn't give up, to me. Like, if you don't kill yourself, you'll be fine, kind of thing.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
It might be that simple, even if it's like, if you endure wanting to kill yourself, you'll have a great life.
I like that. That's better than I was thinking.
Guide. Is another step-by-step Tao instruction on how to achieve things.
Kind of feels that way, for sure. It's like, he who perseveres has the will. It's like, yes. So I think it's deeper than all this, right? Because this feels very definite. Yes, he who perseveres has the will. That's what persevering is having the will. But it's almost like halfway through this Tao, there's like this inflection point. Okay, knowledge of self, and then I'm going to define it, and then I'm going to go my own way. It's very strange. It's almost like the whole poem is this scale a little bit in the meantime, and it's also pointing you towards the Tao in the nothingness of it. It's describing the Tao by almost self-defining. He who perseveres has will. It's very interesting to me. Talking about looking within, you have to persevere in the battle of looking within. That feels pretty deep. Maybe that's what he was going for. Like, hey. Knowledge of man is wise. Knowledge of self is enlightened. But that's not easy. But he who perseveres will.
Quite honestly, my favorite one out of this is he who is not lost endures. It's like almost saying, if you accept the fact that you're lost, if you tell yourself you're lost, you've given up.
Oh, yep.
You could be lost, just don't accept it.
Yeah.
Like, you could be lost in the woods, just don't tell yourself, oh my God, I'm lost.
That's deep, dude.
And if you don't say that, you will endure.
That's hot, because I think about the moment when you say that, or overthinking a certain situation. You are lost when you overthink it. You're not in the moment,
A situation that happened recently in my life, I was looking for something, and it was one of those thoughts that I could feel myself about to say out loud. I didn't say it out loud yet. I said, I wonder if this person stole something from me. But I don't think that yet.
Yeah.
I was like having this conversation in my mind.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think that yet, but I'm beginning to think maybe. And then as soon as I said that, I didn't jump to conclusions, but as soon as I said that, the thing appeared, and I was like, "Man!"
Oh, shucks.
Because I wasn't jumping to a conclusion. I didn't feel like I knew the answer.
Oh,
I was just like,
"That's cool."
I was like, "Am I beginning to want to say that this person stole from me? Though I don't want to say that." And then I found it.
Not lost endures. Yeah, you didn't jump to conclusions.
Wasn't
and
lost
you got
in my
the
thoughts.
Answer you were looking for.
Right. It was
cool.
picturesque. It was within less than a second did it appear to my eyes.
Woo-wee. And of course, he who dies does not pass away. He who dies but does not pass away has true life. Now that's funny. I think right off the bat, I think the layperson would say, oh, is that legacy?
Pass away sounds so much more like your soul.
Oh, you're gonna love this, dude. It's the same kanji as the character in Japanese, but there's literally death, and then there's pass away, which is a different radical.
Ooh.
Which sort of is the more polite way to say things in Japanese. You don't say dead, you say he passed away. Kind of much like English. So it's very similar.
Wow, and I feel like they're wanting to brush over the death word. I think that is indicating that they are more in tune spiritually with each other, because they realize how deep of a thing it is to die. So it's a passing. It's not a death. It's a moving on to whatever the next crazy aspect of this universe is.
Yeah, I like that a lot. A death seems like a harsh word, and it seems, in that sense, it seems very worldly. But passing on means moving to something. It's a little more fluid in that sense. Yeah.
Because I at first, when you read that, I was thinking, he who may die but not pass away. He may die but not pass away. It seems like the physical body will die, but the soul will not have been swept away if they endured. Their mind wouldn't have run rampant their entire life. They would have actually had a life and stayed present in the moment, but they were swept away and they passed away.
Man!
Where do we pass to?
Who do we pass from? Yeah, it's a dangling participle, baby. Much like our lives. Guys, I want to know, what does it mean to die and not pass away? Comment. This has been episode 51. Catch you next time.